Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of a day in the life of an author writing presently in Brooklyn, New York. So today I'd like to share thoughts I have about my writing and blocks of time. I fall into kind of like a deep, almost meditative zone state when I write, and I could forget what time it is, what day it is, what year it is, and it's one of my favorite zones to fall into when I write because the writing comes from somewhere beyond the physical plane. It's kind of like downloads, and that's where the real good stuff comes from. That's the good part of it. The difficult part of it is that having that kind of time doesn't come very naturally or easily to me. It does come, but it's kind of sporadic. So I just wanted to share that part today. So when I don't have the time to kind of fall into that zone, it's kind of more like an uphill writing session. The day-to-day kind of overlaps and intervenes a lot, but I'm also grateful for the day-to-day things and the abundance that I have to juggle. It's not like I don't want to do all that. Even if I do have solid blocks of time, I have issues with energy. I could be writing, I could be like clear 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours at a time. And then when I sit down to write, I'll get sleepy and I can't stay awake. So it's a strange kind of roller coaster of zones that I go through when I write. So there's a lot of aspects of it. That's the one I wanted to share today. And there's always an eagerness that creates a lot of tension and fatigue as well too. Well, I'm not writing at this moment. I need to write this down, but it's not the opportune moment. I have other things to do. I have to make something to eat for myself, for my wife. I have to do some errands or chores. I can do it later, I can do it now, but anything I'm doing, I'm always thinking, I could be writing, I should be writing. And then when I have blocks of time when I can be writing, either it's not downloading or it's just not the right perfect timing, or I'll feel sleepy at night, like, I'm falling asleep, I can't write right now. So it comes in interesting cycles. I don't know what it means, but I wanted to share that because it is part of the aspect of being a writer and embracing the author's lifestyle. It's a great sense of accomplishment when something gets finished, especially when it goes into a book form, because it organizes it in a solid fashion and you have something kind of, in my case especially, that's organized and that won't get lost. I have files and notebooks kind of all over the place. Even taking the time to sit and organize where I write is it's not easy. It's not easy. I always put it off. Till tomorrow. I'll organize my notebooks so that I can organize my writing better and I can put it together better. The process is volcanic. I'll be walking down the street sometimes and I'll get an idea for a poem or a sentence or a group of words and how to put them together. The phone is a fantastic resource because you can always write in your notes on the phone. Even though sometimes I like writing on notebooks, it's not always the easiest thing to do. And sometimes you can't really set aside, I can't set aside time to write because it won't work at the time I decide to sit and write. But it's all part of it, Practice though does loosen up. Sometimes I think fine tuning, if I sit and journal for a while, like write a couple of 2-3 pages, after the 4th page, some diamond words might come out, diamond phrases, diamond sentences. Those are always really nice. And then when I absolutely can't write for whatever reason, or I'm just really tired and I'm even too tired to nap or rest, I'll listen to poetry on YouTube, for example. Yesterday I was listening to some Robert Frost, and the most refreshing thing and inspiring thing about listening to other authors is to hear sentences and phrases that are kind of like, the best way I could say right now is home runs. They're just kind of diamonds in the sky. I'll hear a phrase from a song or a poem, and I light up and I think, wow, there's that writer, that poet, that author touched the universe. And so when I was listening to Robert Frost, has a lot of them. A lot of writers do, but there are some phrases consistently that Robert Frost has that strike me. And yesterday when I was listening, I didn't realize that he wrote the phrase about taking the road less traveled. And when I heard the poem that phrase is in, I got chills, and those are the kind of phrases that I love to find. I feel like I fish for these phrases, and when I find them, they're pure magic. I can see a connection that the author, the writer, had with some kind of divine, mystical, universal entity there. I don't remember exactly how the line goes, but he says something like he was traveling and took the road less traveled. And it seems so simple, but you can't, when I hear a phrase like that, I can't really put wrap my brain around how that phrase was born. And I think it comes from the universe, and there's some way that the writer and the author makes a connection. And when that happens, it's a really wonderful moment for me, as well as I believe for all artists and writers. So I wish that connection for myself and for all other artists. I hope that there's an abundance of connections to the expressions that are important for us to share with each other. And that is my wish and hope for me and for you today. And thank you for letting me share that today, and have a great day.